Hello, welcome back to Show and Tell. I'm Billie. I know I keep making you wait for me. I'm so sorry. It's not like I can say I've been so busy knitting, but I really have been. It's just that I was knitting on something that I couldn't share with you, and I will be sharing it in my next episode. So today I can only show you what I'm currently working on, and I can show you some acquisitions. Now, full disclosure, my acquisitions are not strictly knitting related, but it is my friend Jerry, who is a knitter, who appeared on one of my prior episodes, who is responsible for the acquisitions this week. But before I get into that, let me show you what I'm working on. So this is the sleeve. Now, you may know, if you've watched me before, that I often do the sleeves first instead of swatching, but with this sweater that was not at all the case. So the sweater is actually a mashup of two different patterns. I believe they're both from the 1930s. One is called Ladyship 477 and the other is called Summer Jumpers Are Casual. And I will put pictures here of both of them, and you'll see I took the silhouette of one and the motif of the other and superimposed it. So the original sweater was just stockinette all over, but I decided that I wanted this checkerboard pattern. So I knit the entire front and the entire back. Right now they're basted together, so I could try it on. And there's also with this sweater a separate collar. So first of all, let's look in depth at the motif. Pretty simple, you know, you're alternating between reverse stockinette and stockinette, and you're getting this diamond shape. So you start with one stitch and you go up to 3 and 5 and 7 and so on, and then you decrease back. So that keeps going in and out. And when you do increases, you just add on the right number of knits or purls. The ribbing was done on a size 4 needle, which is huge for me. The body of the sweater was done on a size 5 needle, but the collar, to get this stiffness and body to it, was knit on a size 1 needle. So you can see it has some thickness to it, even though it's the same single strand of this fingering weight yarn. So the yarn is Juniper Moon Pollock. The color is 103 Ocean Grayness, and it's made in Italy. It is, according to them, a luxurious blend of silk and linen, 55% silk, 45% linen. Here's the ball band. Now you might see the price, $26.50. I did not pay that for this yarn. The guild that I belong to has a sale, a big sale every November. I paid $30 for 4 of these. 4. There's 2. I've used 1.5. I knit the entire front, the whole entire front, and most of the back, I think about halfway up the back, with one ball. How many yards? 349 yards. I just couldn't believe it. And then this is what's left so far of my second ball, which allowed me to do the collar and part of the front, and now I'm into one of the sleeves, and I still have all of this. So it's possible I might not even go into a third ball. The sleeves are short. So if you can get any of this, it seems to go a very long way. Maybe because of the size needle that I'm using. I didn't want something that was really tight and stiff. I guess if you did your whole sweater on a size 1, which clearly you could, it wouldn't go as far. They're suggesting stockinette using size 5 to 7 US or 3.75 to 4.5 millimeter. So I'm actually using the smaller of the sizes that they give, and I'm still getting a lot of mileage out of it. So really good to know. Somebody asked me, what are you going to do with the leftover? Because clearly I'm going to have leftovers. Comment below. Tell me what you think I should do. Some kind of accessory to go with this, don't you think? Tell me your ideas. So before I go on to the acquisitions, the Jerry acquisitions, let me just tell you, you already know if you've been here that I love things from the 1930s and 40s. I do collect a little bit of stuff. I'm crazy about Tamara de Lempicka. You'll see a new addition to my background. My son saw the exhibit in San Francisco and brought me this print as well as a placemat with her paintings on it. But recently I read something that I found interesting that I wanted to share with you about candy that was first popularized by the military. Candy from the 1930s. Can you guess? Well, if you guessed, those little chocolate dots that are covered with different colored candy, M&Ms, you would have guessed right. So let me just read this short article to you. In the 1930s, Forrest Mars Sr., the son of Mars founder Franklin Clarence Mars, was traveling in Europe. According to confectionery legend, it was during this time that Forrest Mars observed soldiers eating chocolate pellets surrounded by a sugar shell during the Spanish Civil War. Inspired, he took the concept back to the United States, where in 1941 M&Ms were born. With World War II already underway, M&Ms were initially made specifically for the U.S. military, providing an ideal way for soldiers to carry energy-rich chocolate in tropical climates without it melting. In 1947, the candy was made available to the public, and its popularity has never waned since. Raise your hand if you remember the M&M commercials on television where the little, well, they were sort of big candies, were diving into a swimming pool that was filled with the candy coating. You know, I always have these little tidbits that I want to share with you, and sometimes I forget to tack them one at the end. So let me get another one of them out there to you. I want to share with you a video, I'll put a link in the show notes, about how various fiber arts like rug hooking and knitting are finding new audiences in Canada through social media. So I'll put the link below. I thought it was an interesting thing to take a look at. Okay, in my acquisitions segment this week, it's not yarn. These are all things that Jerry thought that I would love to have. So the first thing is this raincoat with a Toulouse-Lautrec pattern all over it, like all different Toulouse-Lautrec posters. It's double-breasted. It's on the short side, so it wouldn't fit just anyone. And it comes with this little hat. I have to put the hat on for you. And there is a belt. So it's like a trench coat style, you know, belted, and there is this panel in the back that gives it that real trench look. And notice the label. It is something that she designed back in the day when she was in the garment industry. That's Exhibit A. She gave me some other hats. It's really kind of hot here in New York, but I will try some of them on for you because I think just showing them, like I could just show you this, it doesn't mean anything. It's wool, so I don't want to keep it on my head very long, but you can see pretty well. There's like this sort of knot flower kind of thing here, but it's really asymmetrical. Just a really interesting hat for the winter. She also gave me this beautiful beaded piece because she knows how much I love Art Deco and flapper. Let me try and get this on. I think this is the correct way. Bear with me. I think it's like that. I think I might have to play around with it. I don't think it's this way. Although, oh, maybe it is that way. Hey, what do you think? I don't know, but I do know it's going to Paris with me in the fall. Be really easy to pair it up with a black sweater and black trousers. Okay, next up, we have this stunning hat with the netting. Pretty, right? Beautiful color. Think it'll match my Schiaparelli bow knot? I think so. Yeah, let me show you that all around. Stunning hat. If you're not familiar with my Schiaparelli bow knot sweater, I'll put a link up in this corner so you can go take a look at the episode where I went to Paris to see the original of the sweater that I knit. When she brought this hat out, I couldn't believe it, because this will knock your socks off. It's very heavy, this hat. It's like a sculpture. I don't know if this is the right way. There is an elastic, but it needs some repair. I'm gonna have to make sure that it's something very, very sturdy because this thing weighs a lot, but you can see the light is catching it. It's all covered with crystals. That's probably why it's so heavy. Now, the colors are really interesting. It's sort of like gold and green, emerald green. So beautiful, right? I hope I'm able to wear this. I might have to knit something to go with it. It's very sculptural. Jerry loves art. So it doesn't surprise me that she would gravitate to something as fascinating as this. This has a real, like, maybe 50s vibe to it, but it's so colorful, so wonderful for spring, maybe even summer. And this is the last one. Pretty, right? Won't take up any room in a suitcase. And I have a sweater from the 80s that has a lot of beads that dangle in these iridescent colors. I think it'll be great with that. You know, it's always nice to have something to put together with your hats. Okay, so we're finished in the hat category, but wait, there's more. This is something that is called a reticule. I'm sure you've seen these, where the woman just hangs it on her arm. The tassel at the bottom. But look at the colors. They're really very subdued, like you would expect to see in something of the period. I do believe that this is handmade, and I think it's crochet. I think so. I don't think those stitches look like knitting. And then the tassel. And then these little openings that you put the drawstring through. This is big enough for a cell phone. I don't know if it's quite sturdy enough. I don't know if these handles can support it. So I think it's more just to dangle off your arm and have as decoration, and maybe have a lipstick and your keys in it. And then she proceeded to give me a series of these beautiful mesh bags. One is more spectacular than the next. Look at the frame and the chain handle. And these are pretty sturdy. This one's more silver tone. And again, how pretty the frame is. Just to have one of these is like extraordinary, but now I have a collection. Plus I have my own that belonged to my grandmother. Not as ornate as these though. Like that, with all this little fringe at the bottom. Pretty design right in these little links. I guess those are peacocks. And again, notice the frame and the little chain. I hope you're enjoying this, even though I know it's not woolly. It's like a watercolor, right? Like Monet water lilies. Let's take a look at the inside of this one. It's fully lined. Whiting and Davis mesh bags. It's marked right in there. They're the ones who are famous for this stuff. But look at this little ruffle on the bottom. And then, last but not least, and this one has these little, like a zigzag on the bottom. Check out this frame. It's different from the others. And the way this opens is also different. this little bead pushes through and releases. Not only is it lined, but it has a little pocket inside. I'm sure somebody put her lipstick right in that little pocket. The lining doesn't go all the way to the bottom, I guess because it's maybe too deep. Oh no, it does, it does. I apologize. So that's it, but do come back soon because I am going to be talking with the woman who designed the sweater that I finished knitting that you have not yet seen. So be on the lookout for my chat with Nicolette Corley. Until then, take it easy, everyone.